SWPL is back after the international break, and with us to enjoy the return to action is former Scotland striker Julie Fleeting. Right, let's get straight to the action here from the Oriam, shall we? Third place Glasgow City made the trip to the capital to take on fourth place Hearts.
It's a cracking day by the capital this 5th of November. What fireworks do we have in store as fourth place Heart of Midlothian hosts third place Glasgow City, separated by only 6 points. Amy Anderson and Ian Park move to the bench. A return for Ciara Grant. Danny Finlay is also in. Ailey Davies is on the bench after scoring her first senior goal instantly after coming on as a sub against Motherwell. Leanne Ross in Glasgow City make 3 changes. Wardlaw, Kozak and Davidson dropping out. Moore, Larkin and Motlalo come in. We all have a minute's silence ahead of kick-off in remembrance. Hearts' last home match ahead of Remembrance Sunday next weekend. There's an armband thrown up into the air there. And there it is. Hearts will remember the 5th of November. A point against the champions. Glasgow City have been left frustrated.
Well, Leanne Ross, the Glasgow City manager, joins us now. Leanne, what was your take on that game?
I thought it was a really poor game, in all honesty, from both teams. I don't think there was much quality at all.
Leanne, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's get a reaction to that draw for Hearts from the manager, Eva Olid. What did you make of that one? On reflection, a pretty good point from your point of view, isn't it?
Yes, of course, it's a big point. We know Glasgow City is a big team.
Well, Julie, it was really interesting to hear from both managers there, wasn't it? And completely different takes on the game and completely different moods after that game.
Yeah, I think you could all tell that Leanne wasn't pleased with the performance of her players, certainly from a Glasgow City point of view.
Well, last time out, Rangers beat their old firm rival Celtic to move to the top of the table. This time out, the new league leaders were at home to Spartans.
Rangers, the only undefeated team in the league. Joe Potter makes a few changes today as Michelle Coulson makes her second start, as does Libby Bance. Rachel McLaughlin is on the bench for the first time this season. Spartans haven't won for 4 games since a 1-0 win at Thistle in September. The odds are stacked against them today. Maya Bates gets a rare start. Berman and McCafferty have played every game. He gets our head to it. To heat up. The cool head of Megan Bell seals the match for Rangers.
Well, a 3-1 win for Rangers in the end, but their manager not exactly happy with the performance?
No, I think she probably felt that they made it more difficult than it needed to be.
Yep, indeed. Well, Celtic would be eager to return to winning ways after their defeat last time out. This weekend they made the trip to Gussie Park and a meeting with Dundee United.
Dundee United and Celtic will both be raring to go and get back to it after suffering defeats before the international break. United are well rested. They haven't had a game in 3 weeks due to a postponement. They were hammered 6-0 by Motherwell, and Graham Hart makes 2 changes to that side, with Maya Knight and Jade Wilson coming in. Fran Alonso makes 3 changes from that 2-1 loss to Rangers. Paula Partido, Natalie Ross and Imani Addy are in for Hayes, Menglu and Shen. Celtic dropped points for the first time against Rangers, losing their top spot in the table too. They'll certainly be looking for a positive reaction. She can't beat McNicoll again, and Celtic will have to settle for 2.
Well, I think the interesting thing from a Celtic point of view this weekend was that Fran Alonso made changes to his starting 11, but the same outcome.
Yeah, I mean, he left key players out.
Well, Hamilton Accies are still looking for their first win of the league season. How would they fare against a Partick Thistle side who've had a really solid start to this season?
Partick's last home game at Petershill had a crowd of 336, a new Thistle record. Now they play at Firhill for the very first time in a competitive fixture. Ava Easton, on loan from Glasgow City, comes in for Megan Cunningham. Rosie Slater and Rebecca McGowan drop to the bench, with Emma Lawton and Amy Bullock returning. Accies welcome back Hannah Coakley in defence and Kirsty McIntosh in midfield. Abby McDonald, who scored against Hibs, and Kira Ritchie dropped to the bench. Historic day for Thistle. In 6th place are expected to beat Accies. And now she fires in an absolute beauty.
Well, interesting to hear from Brian Graham, the Partick Thistle manager, really pleased with his team's performance. He said they were excellent for the 90 plus minutes.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. I think throughout the game they were very convincing.
Well, time to have a look at the final two games from the weekend. Montrose were at home to Hibernian, and it was Motherwell against Aberdeen.
Montrose are on a good run of form, 3 unbeaten. It's a recognisable lineup for them as they look to put further distance between themselves and Hamilton in 12th. Mickey McAloney makes her 3rd start of the season for Hibs. It's only Rosie Livingston's 2nd. Ailey Adams is on the bench despite a hat-trick in her last game. Tegan Bowie and Ellis Notley are on the bench for a change. Here goes Leishman, supports. An excellent afternoon's work for Grant Scott's side.
Two sides in poor runs of form, but there's usually goals when these two meet. It was 3-2 to Aberdeen in August. Who will come out on top today? Tara McGonigal and last season's top scorer Carla Boyce are back into Paul Brownlee's starting 11. Murren Cunningham and Caitlin Canavan drop out. Aberdeen have lost their last 4. Clinton Lancaster swaps 3 to change their fortunes. Darcy Miller, Hannah Innes and Phoebe Murray come into the starting lineup. Motherwell trying to build out from the back, but it'll be no more than a consolation in the end though. Aberdeen have cruised this.
Well, goals galore for Hibernian there, and what an afternoon for Abby Ferguson.
Yeah, I mean, incredible to score 4 goals and get 2 assists.
Let's have a look at how the SWPL table looks after those games. Rangers still on top, 1 point ahead of Celtic. Glasgow City 7 points adrift of 2nd spot in 3rd place. Hearts stay 4th. Aberdeen moving now to 7th place, jumping above Motherwell. No change at the bottom. Aki's still at the foot of the table on 2 points. And there's plenty more football action coming your way across BBC Scotland. On Tuesday, Sportscene brings you Champions League action as Atletico Madrid face Celtic. On Wednesday, it's back to domestic matters with Scottish Premiership action between St Mirren and Hibernian. Sportsound is on Radio Scotland Extra. There's a double dose of European action on Thursday on Sportsound. Hauk against Aberdeen in the Europa Conference League is followed by Rangers against Sparta Prague in the Europa League. In the SWPL Cup, it's Celtic against Glasgow City on Friday. BBC Alba has that one from 6:35. And in the Scottish Championship, Sportscene brings you Dunfermline Athletic against Dundee United from 7:30. That's on BBC Scotland. Well, that's it for myself and Julie. No league highlights show next weekend. We'll be back in a fortnight though. We will see you then. Bye bye.